Hi, welcome to Suplex the Sticks, a gaming podcast hosted by David and Seth.
Hello.
And Forrest.
Howdy.
How's it going, fellas?
Good. Happy
Good.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy Hanukkah.
We
Happy
missed the
Boxing
chance
Day.
to really say Hanukkah, because really
Happy belated
we had
Hanukkah.
episodes
Kwanzaa.
closer to
Yeah,
Hanukkah.
yeah. That's true. Festivus.
We may be past Three Kings Day, or we're around it. Happy Three Kings Day for all those who
Stocking Day.
celebrate.
Boxing Day. I already said that. You did?
Yeah.
Say it again.
No. I will not sully myself and acquiesce to your demands.
Three Kings Day is on the 6th, so happy upcoming Three Kings Day. Leave out hay and water for the camels.
What about the kings?
No.
They're fine.
So,
But
yeah.
they travel so far.
We didn't record last week
Duh. It's Christmas.
because of Christmas. Or did we record last week?
Duh.
I can't
No,
remember.
we did record
I
last
think we
week
did, yeah.
because it was the Game of the Year episode. Time means nothing.
It is a farce.
I think that Seth didn't really hit the same brick wall I did on New Year's Eve, which and it's because I was up much earlier to do sound that morning, and then I just stayed up through the Dolphins game and didn't nap the whole day. So I was up for like 15 hours straight, and by the time we were playing Jackbox with our friends, I was falling asleep on their couch, and I was like, I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
It was like 3 a.m.
It was.
Good Lord.
Well, when you're hanging out at Chris's, it kind of...
It tends to go that way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
And it was New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Well,
And
it
then day.
bled into New Year's Day.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chris, who would have been on our Game of the Year episode if we had reminded him that we were all planned to record at his house. But now, we got something special for the second half of the episode. Let's just talk about what we've played. This might end up being a shorter episode, and that's okay. We haven't talked about games we've played in a little bit, and I'm ready to talk about some. I started Sea of Stars last night, and I since have played like 3 hours of it. I am through what I believe is the entire prologue.
Did you beat the cloud guy?
Yes, and he's given me my prophecies. It either is going to come to a point where it gives me a title screen, or it's not going to do that and just let me keep playing the game.
I think it does.
So
I
we'll
can't
see.
remember. Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
definitely is a title screen. I
well,
think.
yeah, you see it at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Cult of the Lamb, which is a okay game. I want it to be more Hades than it is, and instead it's a lot more cult sim, and I'm not enjoying that much. And so I put it down. I got to the second boss, and I got really overwhelmed by constant notifications on the left-hand side of my villagers either getting old or
Yeah.
pooping somewhere or deciding to be not believers, and like my brain. Here's the thing.
Gotta put him in the
And this is why I
re-education
think,
cave.
right? But this is like it Ubisofted me. That's what it did, because what happens in Ubisoft games, and it's what's happened to me in Avatar, which sucks because I don't like that, is it has provided a good gameplay loop that I enjoy, and then provided about 15 complications that happen during that gameplay loop that then confuse me if they are more important than the gameplay loop I am participating in. And so then I start to worry if I'm playing the game correctly, and then I end up disengaging altogether because I'd rather not have the hassle of it. And it's too much to juggle because you have at least in my case, I have 16 followers. And so keeping 16 people happy is a little extreme.
And you you start to get a lot more as the game goes on.
Right. And so I was talking to my friend Josh, who said, who started playing it because I started playing it, and I liked it a lot initially. He said that it starts to take care of itself the further you get. Like, you get far enough in, and then it unlocks enough buildings that do things automatically for you that you stop having to worry so much about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not there, and I don't know if I want to climb that mountain. And so I decided to eject and play Sea of Stars.
I don't think I ever found it too overwhelming staying on the top of that stuff. But I think I also enjoyed the sim stuff a lot more than you do.
But you also played it at launch, right?
Yeah.
So I was talking to Andrea in depth about it before you got to New Year's Eve. And I was describing stuff to her that I was having to do. And she's like, that wasn't in the game when I played it. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I did read about how they've done a ton of updates to add a ton more functionality to the cultists. Right. And she's like, I think they maybe have rebalanced the game to a different way than even I played it. And that might be with your case too. Like, they just decided to go heavy into the cult sim part. And which sucks because I was fine with the light sim and the Hades part. Yeah. And now it's just kind of heavy on the sim, light on the Hades.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad game. I just think it's not for me. Which,
did you ever get to the dice mini game?
I did.
Knucklebone?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's fun.
I could play a game of just that.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah. It's super, super fun.
Their fishing mini game was pretty fun, and
it's amazing that the guy came up with that game from nothing. I was watching a video of someone who was, I think they decided to like create their own Knucklebone game board based off what's in the game, and it's just like a game with 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm not really questioning this how much. I don't know how much digging this person did on it, but it seems to be that the guy came up with this game from whole cloth, and it isn't really a remade version of any other game, which I think it's very hard to believe since it's just a game with dice, but it's quite addicting.
Yeah.
They should put it in casinos. Yeah,
I agree. I would play it terribly. I would. I really enjoy it.
It gets you as you go further into the game, you meet new people who you can then like befriend, and they'll go to the cabin to play against you, and it gets pretty difficult.
That almost entices me to keep playing just for that. I'll tell you. But that I played some Mega Man Network Battle Collection. I've maybe shelved that for a little bit too.
Tell us what happened, David.
I got really far, and then I died.
Yep.
And I didn't save.
Yep.
All too classic of a story.
And then
tale as old as time, even.
I used the Mega Buster code thing to get back to where I was.
Yeah. Max Buster mode.
And then I kept playing.
Got farther.
Got way farther.
He first died against Number Man.
Yes, I first died against Number Man. Got way farther, got to Rock Man. Died against Rock Man, and then realized I did not save after defeating Number Man. And so now I am past Rock Man, and I am saved. I've saved multiple times.
He said that's enough for now.
But I don't know how much more of this game I can take since I've played probably a full playthrough's worth of time in only the first half of the game.
Not even the first half. That's like the first quarter of the game.
It's so sad.
Oh, gosh.
I might play through the rest of the game with Max Buster mode.
Yeah?
I do like the story. I've learned that the chip system, like Seth said, is much deeper than I thought it was.
And much easier to grasp.
And much easier to
adult.
grasp as an adult. But I am less inclined to interact with it when there's no like experience attached to it. Like I guess you kind of get money and stuff, but like I kind of want to be it's too random on what cards I'm getting, and I
don't know. I mean, I think that's where the strategy comes from in building your deck of chips. But
right.
also,
I'm saying the loot from the enemies, not necessarily
that stuff. So it's interesting. I remember reading up on it. There are specific conditions you have to meet in order to get the higher rankings in battle. Because each time you finish a battle, it gives you like a ranking, and the rewards you get come from a pool that are based on your ranking, and there are ones, and that includes like not moving certain amount of times. You have to kill multiple enemies at one time.
Really,
you have to use certain amounts of battle chips. You can't just destroy everything with Buster and get the best rewards from it. So you do have to put more effort into it to get the really good chips, which is, it can be frustrating. But I found it to be one of the more fun things when I was doing my playthrough of finding chips kind of at random that I really liked using, and then trying to figure out how to get more of them and fighting, especially the enemy boss refights, because there are multiple times they can show up in the wild when you're on the net, and they can give you chips based on them, which are like the best ones you can have in the game.
right?
But they're always stronger, and so they do require more planning, and I found some of that was the more fun stuff in the game for me.
I really want to play for the story. That's really like I played through all those games when I was a kid.
Right.
Besides the ones where you had to choose a team, like that's where I stopped playing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I got through 1 through 4, and I stopped probably at 5 and 6. And because 3 is the first one that asks you to choose a side. Whenever they started adding beasts as the team, kind of like Pokemon, that's when I stopped. But I just want to play through the story now. I want to see what I missed as a kid. And you move through the game pretty fast if you have the Mega Buster on.
Absolutely.
It's not too bad. And it becomes a story game. And
which is fine.
Yeah.
If you did the challenging version of it when you were a kid.
Yeah, and I mean maybe around like Psy Beast, whatever, like the 5th one or something, I'll turn it off, and because those will be a little more modern than, of course, the first one, which I think came out in like 2011.
Yeah, it's weird.
Or no, not 2000, like 2001.
Yeah. They made a remake of it for the DS that like incorporated a bunch of the new stuff that were in the later games.
Yeah.
And fixed some of the weird issues that it had, but it's not in the collection, which I think is unfortunate.
I actually didn't know they remade it for the DS.
Yeah. I don't think it came out here.
Oh, really? It came out in Japan only?
It was
2001 was the first game.
Yeah, I forget what it was called, but it had a crossover with Star Force.
Star Force. That's not
Games I never played.
It's not Mega Man.
Yeah, that was Power Rangers. And it's Wild Force, not Star Force.
Listen, I would take that, though.
I would, too. What was the deal with Star Force? Star Force is when they started really adding the beasts and stuff as the...
Well, Star Force was a whole different thing. It was
It's the Mega Man X to
sort of,
Battle
yeah. It
Network's
was like it, but it
classic
was kind
series.
of the battles took place in a third person over the shoulder arena, but they still
That's
had the
Still the
right.
grid, though. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. I never played those.
Those things are stupid expensive now.
Ah, yes. Rockman.exe. Operate Shooting Star.
Yes.
That's the first game redone. Interesting.
It is interesting.
So, but I want to get more back into Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is a great game.
Yes.
I am bummed I didn't play it. I'm getting to the point now where I understand what Seth meant by it can have Golden Sun vibes, where I am doing things in the world directly correlated to my magic and doing puzzles with that. That's pretty rad. I chose to be Zale because he's born on the summer solstice, and so was I. And I wanted to be. I forgot the girl's name.
I call her Valere.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
that's
it's Valerie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna pick her because she looked cooler, but
I think she's better in battle at the end too. But
also Zale does give off Isaac vibes, and
yeah, he's visually
yeah,
he has that kind of.
He's
quite
scratching-
literally a golden sun boy.
he's scratching the itch. That's the he's. If Nintendo won't do it,
Yes.
someone else will.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, this is a great game. I bought on a whim this Dredge and Dave the Diver the other night. So I'm gonna play through those. Since nothing was really enticing me on the Switch, and I tried.
Tried what?
To get through some stuff like Cult of the Lamb. I tried to push past my wall on that, and I couldn't. I wanted to, but
Yeah.
the only other thing I've really been playing is on my Xbox, and that is Fortnite. Dear sweet baby Jesus, this Fortnite Lego is it. Every time I think, man, they've kind of hit a brick wall here. They can't really have
Lego brick wall.
Yeah, they can't really have anything else unique to do. I'm wrong. And there's other complications or other like material types. And if I'm doing this now, they're going to be continually updating this as it goes.
Wait
I am
till they add Bionicle to it.
so here's the thing, and I'm not joking with you. If you have the patience to sit down after we're done recording, there are boss monsters that roam the world that are just Bionicles. They look almost exactly like a Bionicle. They throw rocks from the earth. They just look like Bionicles. And we call them Bionicles, and we always yell and scream and run away because we are not strong enough to fight them.
They need to add the Bionicles as skins to like the regular portion of Fortnite.
That would be amazing.
That would be
That
amazing.
would be such a perfect.
I would lose my mind. Don't.
They all have weapons that could be their pickaxes.
Yeah.
They could get so much money out of us for this.
But what is fantastic about it, and I know like Seth did the bit in the Discord about Lego and Baldur's Gate, I get it, is that there are people that are not creative like me, who like the act of building Lego, but I like to follow the instructions. I don't necessarily get joy out of grabbing random Legos and putting things together.
Yeah, same.
So the game has a pre-build option where you tell it, this is where I would like this pre-built house. And then you put the pieces together as if you're putting together a Lego kit. Pretty cool. It also has a free build mode where you build a foundation and you can build around it, to which my good friend Brandon Fredericks and his insane mad genius of a brain built a 2-story log cabin fortress and like custom built this wooden home that looks like the Wilderness Lodge on the inside, basically. And like he's like, hey guys, look at my house. And me and Cameron are like, what? And then it's like, I could tell you so many stories about this, just adventuring into random caves to mine for wood, to build different Lego pieces. And it is stupid how fun and in-depth this game mode is. And it still is astonishing to me that it is entirely free. You can just
wild.
download Fortnite, and there it is. A very in-depth survival sort of game.
Which is also crazy considering the original version of Fortnite, which is a survival sim that has building stuff in it, you still have to pay for.
But that one is wave-based. So that one is different.
Yes.
There's challenges and wave-based. This is like, there's roaming skeletons that'll sometimes come knocking at your walls. The real challenge is going out and surviving in the elements, kind of Breath of the Wild style. Like every once in a while, it'll be like, you're too cold and you have to you have to make hot food, stuff like that. I actually have never played Save the World mode in Fortnite.
I don't think anyone has. It still exists, and you have to pay for it.
If you look at the right times, Lego Fortnite almost has more concurrent players than Zero Build, which is wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's what I've been playing. It's been a lot of that stuff. Whatever I can get my friends to play, because I just would like my friends to play things. Seth, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been spending some time playing random indie games that I downloaded on my Switch at one point or another and never got around to.
You're searching in the backlog.
Yeah, just because I have all these games, and games that at one point or another I thought something looked interesting enough to make me want to play it. And so I would like to see how many of these I actually think are good. Today I was playing 80 Days, which is I remember it was an iPhone game. I think what it first was, and it won a bunch of awards, but it's a pretty old game actually. And it's about the around the world in 80 days story. You go to different cities and you have to make decisions where to go. It's mostly text based. What else have I been playing? I played through a game called Gravity Circuit, which came out this past year. It is a sort of homage to Mega Man X and probably the Mega Man Zero games a bit. A lot of fun. Instead of having a gun that you shoot at people, you have to punch people up close. And there's also a grappling hook, which is fun.
We love a punching and a grappling hook game.
Yeah, yes. It's really, really great. It's not really 8-bit. I guess it's more in the 16-bit graphical style, but it has sort of a Game Boy Color
palette to it.
Yeah. Which I've been finding. I think I've been really enjoying games that do that. It used to be all about the Game Boy Advance look, but I think I like the kind of more toned down, simpler color style that came with Game Boy Color games.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It follows the same basic idea of there's 8. You are a robot called the Gravity Circuit. Your name is Kai. There's this whole big text scroll at the beginning about how there was this war against the virus army years ago, and all of the circuits rose up to defend the city, and they were all lost except for all of their bodies were never recovered except for the Gravity Circuit's body. And then there was a long time of peace until the virus army came back, and all of a sudden, here you are back on the scene to fight them off. And, you go through 8 stages with different themed robot enemies. And then you go to the big main stages to fight the final boss. Very, very much Mega Man, very much a lot of fun. And especially with the punching it's very good to do. There's sort of combos and there's different special moves you can do. It's a fun game. Definitely recommend it. What else have I been playing? My Switch wasn't dead downstairs. I could probably look at some more of them. I've been playing a game called Beast Breaker,
Hardly even know her.
which is I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's sort of like, it's kind of Pong-y sort of. You play as this little rodent, this little mouse guy with a sword. And you have to destroy these huge monsters. It's like those, the ads you see for mobile games where you're shooting balls at blocks that have numbers and you have to hit them. It's like that, but instead of just these random grids, they are these sort of stained glass looking monsters that have all these floating appendages, and you have to sort of bounce through them to take the numbers down and destroy the cores. It's really cute, pretty fun. Not like, I haven't gotten super deep into it, so I don't know how much more complex the game gets, but it's enjoyable. What else? Can't really think of much. There's a lot of games that I kind of started up and bounced off pretty quick. I have this one game called Dawn of the Monsters, which, as I learned, it is a kind of sort of in the vein of old games like not Rampage, but those kind of like the arcade beat 'em up games where you kind of roam through in a pseudo 3D plane, and you have to just destroy monsters. You play as big other monsters or big robots, which I guess I don't. It must not. When I first looked at it and got interested, I guess I must have thought it was something different, because when I booted it up and started playing it wasn't exactly what I was expecting it to be, and didn't really grab me all that much.
I don't know how much money it is, but there's a game that another podcast I was listening to was talking about that is probably perfect for you. I'll tell you about it now, even though I should probably tell you about it off the air because this is weird to suggest on the air, but it's a game called Cobalt Core. The way they described it, my brain instantly went, that might be a Seth game, because they said it is a version of Into the Breach, but with deck building aspects in it.
Yes, I've seen this actually, and it might be on my wish list. I'm not sure. Another game I tried was called Kaiju Wars, which it sort of is like Into the Breach. And also it has sort of Advance Wars type stuff. It's isometric, grid based, where you have to build bases and have them spawn units that can go out and fight these big monsters that are coming up. And as the monsters destroy buildings, you lose out on the resources that they gain you at the beginning of every game. And it's interesting. I played a couple missions. It's got sort of a weird interface in the way stuff is presented. So I don't know how deep I will be able to get into that. But it was interesting. I don't know. I think that's kind of all I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, we did play this insane new Jackbox game.
That's true.
That I think is vaguely worth mentioning. It is, what was it called?
Something bird singing birds. I don't know.
It's a singing birds game. Forest. It is a game where you play Guitar Hero on your phone.
Oh, God.
It's a tap rhythm game, but Jackbox.
Okay, like Tap Tap Revenge.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
But you all make sure your phone volume is up, and then you get to listen to your music mixed together at the end. And
does each person have a different instrument that they're playing in the song, or is it all?
Well,
like
they
the
should.
same?
You get to
should.
choose instruments at the beginning.
Okay.
And they could be as simple as a cowbell or
A banjo.
someone farting.
Someone yelling.
Unending
I'll
Screams.
be that guy.
Unending Screams is one that's in a couple of the songs. Like Sloppy Saxophone is one of them.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Yeah, it is a weird game.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun laughing at how terrible we all were at it.
Yeah. I mean, especially because the difficulty can ramp up extremely in it. It's probably one of the best Jackbox games I've played in a long time. At least one of my favorites. We did a couple of Jackbox games over the holidays, and maybe they've kind of gotten back into a good swing of things over there. Instead of like they've kind of leaned into an interesting couple of things. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a hard thing to do. To know that you have to like build games off of that specific. Okay, they have to be quick to join in. Anyone should be able to play.
They have to be quick to understand.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there is stuff that they could do, like more long play stuff that they could do that I bet there would be an audience for, but I don't know if it's the same audience that is lining up to get their games and play them. Right. And they always have to be bringing out new ideas too to put in the new collections and
exactly, and they come out yearly, so it's crazy. Forrest, what have you been playing?
I have played and beaten Max Payne's 1 and 2.
Look at you.
Really off to a strong start this year.
Playing old games.
Yeah.
And Halo.
Always. That will never change, unfortunately.
We have a special haiku about that we'll get to.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize we were presenting poetry and haiku tonight.
Yes.
Wonderful. But yeah, I played through those games. I am kind of mixed on them. Like, they're fun little arcade shooters, but they want you to do really cool, like, make your own set piece moments, basically, but the aiming and shooting is not accurate enough to facilitate that make your own, like, John Woo film moment.
I bet that will be addressed in the upcoming remakes, which you just couldn't wait to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was also addressed in Max Payne 3, but that was a different dev team, so take that as you will.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I also bought a bunch of games on the Switch tonight, one of them being Gravity Circuit, which Seth mentioned earlier. And I started playing one of them tonight called Dojo Ran, and you just play as a frog, platforming through death traps. And it's pretty nice so far.
That's just,
but it also only
just
cost
the life
me
of
like
a frog.
Yeah. And that's a wonderful life, I'd say, full of adventure and peril and challenge, but success and victory at the end of it all. Yeah.
One would hope.
For
a frog.
Yeah. I wish nothing but the best for frogs.
What about the poison dart frog?
I also wish nothing but the best for them.
What if it started raining poison dart frogs?
Well, that's just a typical Florida afternoon, isn't it?
That's true. And Cape Canaveral.
Yeah, I was about to say, especially if you live down in Cape Canaveral.
Is that normal in Cape Canaveral?
2000.
It's happened before.
9?
I don't know.
I don't know the year. I don't know.
It's happened multiple places across the globe, actually.
That's weird.
That's
where a weather system will grab something somewhere and drop it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That just sounds fake, but
it's real. It's also, there's been multiple reports of it happening with where it will start raining rocks somewhere that were picked up from who knows where.
Look at your weather reports. They'll
tell
you everything you need to know.
This sounds like something on that weird show I watch on HBO Max, Mysteries of the Abandoned.
I started watching. I watched one episode and I was like, this isn't really great. I don't like this that much.
Well, you've got to skip through the stuff you're not interested in. That's what I do. The moment I'm starting to be
like Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
I could just
I could just watch
YouTube videos about this stuff that go into more depth and are presented in a way that I find more engaging.
I use this to find those things.
To pique your interest, so
Yeah,
you could
yeah,
go
yeah.
look those up. Yeah.
I need to do more research about that woodpecker satellite thing.
But also the way that people talk in those, it's like the same way they talk in those History Channel aliens things, where you're like,
Now you have to understand.
nothing. The way you're presenting this information makes me think it's all fake.
Now the problem is, Seth, I don't know if you were like me as a child. I was obsessed with the History Channel.
I was not.
but not the we're not on video games right now, but not the aliens History Channel, like the World War II and Civil War, like that History Channel. And really what they just pivoted to was talking about wars and stuff that way into talking about aliens and stuff that way.
Right.
So it itches part of my nostalgic brain.
Yeah. But it's just like the way that they speak and the way they are filmed make it triggers this thing in my brain that's like the way you're talking about this makes everything sound fake.
Possibly fake.
Yeah.
Right. It's like-
Yes.
These and I know these are all
doesn't
like
feel
this is all just like
genuine.
factual information you're telling me about this bridge that no one uses anymore.
Oh, that bridge is so cool. But
But all the stuff they're saying, I'm like,
that bridge is really cool.
it feels like you're talking about a conspiracy.
It's all
theory
wood.
that isn't real.
It's that bridge is dope. But it makes sense no one uses it. So Seth,
Was that at Forest?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played those three things.
we'll do a weekly
Yeah.
Mysteries of the Abandoned check-in. I'll tell you about something cool I learned every week.
Heck yeah.
But let's first a haiku from Cameron. Another year gone. Despite all of the new games, Forrest still plays Halo. And
That's
with
it.
that kicks off Seth putting the Discord on a quest. And me on a quest to do math.
Yes. I put everyone on notice after we released our Game of the Year episode.
Seth did a call to arms for people to submit their top tens.
Or top whatevers.
No, top tens. So Cameron only did 7, which I did adjust his by his max points was 7.
That's what you get, Cam.
That's what you get. And I have the top 10 list here. We had 8 entries.
Along with our 3.
No, I did not combine our. This is truly
Oh, this is
the
only.
Discord's
the
only.
I see, I
Discords.
see.
Yes, this is Discord's only. Number 10 was a 3-way tie.
Okay.
All 10
Wow.
points. Lies of P, Breath of the Wild, and Alan Wake 2.
Hold on, Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
It was Joe's game of the year.
Oh my gosh.
And that's at number. Those are all number 10.
Yes.
So all of the
Well.
ones have more points. Well, there you go. So there's only 7 other games on the list.
No.
No.
No. I made them all tied for number 10.
He's starting
Because
from
number
the
9
top
does have 12 points.
and going down.
So
wait.
so that's number 10. Number 9, Resident Evil 4 Remake with 12 points. Number 8, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3
God,
with 13 points.
you're kidding me.
I love the fact that this means multiple people had to have voted for them.
Yes. Number 7, Hogwarts Legacy with 14 points.
Interesting.
Number 6,
Did any of us play that game?
No.
I have, and
Really?
I forgot about.
Marianne is playing it. It is harder than you would think it is, and so I'm having to help her through sections.
I see.
But it does have some unforgiving combat, and it is a little tricky to do the blocking that it is asking of you. And for someone like her who is not used to engaging with the game that way, but I'm helping her. And it's working. It's the combat's fun. So Final Fantasy 16 at number 6 with 15 points. Star Wars Jedi Survivor at number 5 with 17 points.
Sir.
Vampire Survivors with 20 points at number 4.
Wow.
Spider-Man 2 at number 3 with 24 points.
Nice.
Mario Wonder at number 2 with 25 points. And Baldur's Gate 3 at number 1 with 30 points.
You specifically hate to
That's
see
great.
it.
Let's.
I
All right, I
mean-
want to. I want to see. When I brought my initial idea was you would add it to our list.
I cannot do that math right now.
Why not just do it up? I'll do it.
Because I have 80 games here and most of them are not like
No. Well, we'll just use the top 10. I just want to see where they would fit in with our list.
oh, okay. I can pull that up. You'll have to vamp for a moment. I can't.
Vamp like a vampire.
That's not
Survivor.
Good. That is not good vamping. I just want to tell you.
Well, I guess we're surviving. We're vamp surviving.
So
The number 4 game of the year.
It does it throws off a little because we are only 3 people and they
Right.
had
Yeah,
Add
that
the
was
numbers.
the idea.
Yeah.
right. So we had numbers in the single digits still. And all of theirs
Yeah, that's true. It would be tough, especially because I think we would need to see how.
and their list
big
was
ones.
much more diverse.
That is
Wow,
extensive.
that's impressive.
Love to see Final Fantasy VI. And Kingdoms of Amalur. Thank you, Joe.
So we'll go through since everyone gave them
Wow, I don't see Tears of the Kingdom on here at all.
You're wrong. It is on someone's list. So Joe's game of the
there
year.
it was.
We'll do top 5s for everyone.
No, I don't think we need to.
No, we should.
I don't want to do that.
Joe's game
It's
of
too
the
much.
year
It's
was
too much to
Breath
talk
of the
about.
Wild. I don't think so because it is kind of surprising. There's games on here that I never heard of that came out
yeah.
this year. Like, Brandon was super into Wreckfest and this game called Shotgun Farmer.
I've actually heard of that. I don't
really?
know what it is.
I don't. He said everyone needs to play it.
Heard.
Man, Starfield sitting at their number 4 for Joe. That's
Joe
a terrible
really-
place for a bad game.
He really likes Starfield.
Does he
While
like it or
also
did he just
disliking
play it a lot?
Both.
Yeah.
But also he disliked it. He has a real love-hate relationship with Todd. Josh, who I want to take credit, played Inscription because of me.
Nice.
So
Sitting at number 2 on his list.
Yeah, Liza P was his top.
Respectable.
He's the only one that put Tears of the Kingdom on his list.
That's so interesting.
He's also the only person on this list that played it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
If I may ask a quick question about Josh's list, do you know if that Doom down at the bottom place is 2016's Doom or original?
I think it is 2016.
Okay.
He also has Fire Emblem Engage on his list,
Which is
make me
unfortunate.
discredit the whole thing. So sorry, Josh. I have to throw your results out.
He liked that game.
Yeah, the gameplay is
Yikers.
nice.
I think he bought my copy. So shout out to me for that.
I don't know if you could say that.
Chris put Final Fantasy 16 at number 6. Mm-hmm. It is his first Final Fantasy. We have to forgive this. He will grow and learn. I've been trying to push him to play 7 Remake instead of playing 7 first.
Now, Chris, you should play 8.
You should play 9
just play Final. Shut
instead.
up. Play Final Fantasy 8 on the Switch with the speed up thing on.
So Chris
Yeah.
and Andrea played this game called Tape to Tape that they both really loved. Never heard of it before.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if
Apparently,
you
it's a
guys have.
hockey roguelike.
I have heard of that. I did
Oh.
not know it was called Tape to Tape. I didn't play it, but Cameron played Brotato for over 200 hours this year.
Okay. He gets on to me about playing Halo for that much, and yet he's out here playing
Yeah, I don't.
whatever
Brotato's a
Brotato is.
roguelike.
Yeah, we're just
so
gonna
it
have
is
to
an
remove
endless.
that from the list.
It is an endless runner, and it did not break the top 10 because Cameron's list maxed out at 7.
Yeah, sorry, Cameron.
and BattleBit Remastered, which I guess is a Battlefield voxel game that someone made. And he loved it. So
Yeah, that does look like Battlefield.
Wow,
it's just Battlefield, but with voxels, and he says the closest you'll get to Battlefield 3.
There you go.
Nick, who was great enough to give us a list, I love that he put Rocket League in at number 5. Great. Also, I can tell you his greatest disappointment this year was Diablo 4. He put
He's
in...
got it at number 10.
Oh, he put in more time than I think you put into Starfield in Diablo 4. And he...
That's a lot of time.
Yes. Shout out to Rocky for putting a Yakuza game in there.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, he really liked Final Fantasy 16. I'm happy for him.
He's also got Sifu on there. Let's go.
Our best fighting game.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
And yeah, so, you know, you love to see, and we got more Spider-Man representation with Andrea putting Miles in there.
And Kirby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I almost put Kirby Return to Dreamland on my top 10.
I would like to get around to playing that this year.
It was good. I traded it in, sorry.
Yeah,
But,
that's okay.
I traded in during a deal where I got almost $50 for it, which is insane.
Yeah.
They were doing a deal where you got 60% extra if you traded in 5 games, and I got almost full price back for Sonic Frontiers somehow.
Wild.
Like, that makes 0 sense. GameStop is killing itself, because they're not going to sell that game for that much. But yeah, top 10s. Thank you, Joe, Brandon, Josh, Chris, Cameron, Nick, Rocky, and Andrea.
And no thanks to anyone who didn't do it.
Well, there's other people that could have done it.
Maybe next year
Yeah.
you won't be squares.
Or maybe you can still do it. Send it to David. We won't talk about it on here.
No, I won't.
Or on
we
the
won't.
Discord.
Yeah, and
But
I'm
you
not.
can do it.
And
You can still
won't.
email.
You can. Cameron was the only person that used email, and
Thank
he wrote
you.
the haiku.
He wrote our first ever
In the 6
listener
years,
email.
in like the 6 years we've been doing the podcast, the first ever listener email.
Yes. And that haiku is suplex certified, so
It is. Forrest
Yes,
has to deal with
I.
it.
if you want
I
to
do
send us
agree on
haikus
it.
on the email, David will read them.
I will. That is a guarantee.
They have to be proper haikus.
Yes.
575.
And we will be strict.
Yeah. One syllable off, you're banned.
Yeah. And I'll block your email.
You get one shot here, people.
Yeah. It's not hard. So yeah, that's the beginning of 2024. Us ripping apart our friends, and you know, it's exciting. We've got a bunch of fun stuff coming up, games that I'm excited to talk about. Apparently, Ubisoft released its estimation of how long it takes to beat the Prince of Persia game, and they said it's estimated 25 hours long. And I
That's quite
think
long.
they have
for
to overestimate that, but holy crap.
Wow.
I mean,
That would be impressive.
Hollow Knight was like 40, so I spent longer than 40 playing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks good, so hopefully it is that good. So yeah, exciting year coming up, even though there's a giant black hole in the middle of it that we don't know what's coming out in that time frame.
Switch
And
2.
it's probably going to be the Switch 2. So
When do we think we hear about the Switch 2 this year? Let's get some year predictions.
yeah, we could do some year predictions.
Forrest.
3 year predictions.
3.
3. I can start. I've got mine.
Yeah, go. You go.
Number 1, we get the Halo Battle Royale this year.
That's interesting.
Number 2,
I would
Switch
predict that
2,
won't happen.
Switch 2 comes out
Oh yeah, that's.
in August.
I would think it comes out earlier.
Okay. I'm thinking August. And then prediction 3 is we get a Gears 6
Tactics.
announcement
Oh.
with a beta this year.
Interesting
my
predictions.
prediction. And that one is a shot in the dark. I have not heard anything
Yeah.
about and really, if anything, I've heard that we shouldn't be looking forward to a Gears 6, but I think that they've been really quiet over there. So,
Aren't they making Perfect Dark?
Everyone's
No.
making perfect. Dark.
well, yeah,
We're, even us.
yeah,
It's the first quintuple A game.
yeah. That
And
is.
Did they skip the quadruple?
Yeah.
No, it is the quadruple.
No,
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's quintuple now.
What is the?
It's like
Because
a,
everyone's developed.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of spreads like one of those email worms.
Yeah.
If you hear
Yeah.
about it, you're also working on it.
It's the. Do you want to join my email?
Yeah.
But so yeah, those are my. No, what's the name of that studio? I almost said Deep Silver, but I know it's not Deep Silver. Perfect Dark developer.
Isn't it like something vague, like the collective or something like that?
Yeah, the Initiative.
Initiative.
Yes.
It's a good name
and-
for a games development studio.
And my low key my wish for the year is that there is low rumbling rumors out there among some of the like
This is your wish that there are rumors?
no this is my like hope that it's real. All my stuff is based off of the Switch 2 has rumors, of course, but Halo Battle Royale has really no basis on if it's coming out ever, and so is the Gears one. But the deep insiders, like weird Twitter, has been surfacing that apparently a new Banjo has been licensed
Band-aid about.
or talked about or is in progress.
Would certainly be interesting.
Some of the leakers I follow that only post in Spanish, so they're less likely to get caught, which is hilarious. That is a new tactic
I
to
love
where
that for them.
they post in Spanish so that you have to translate to get what they're saying, so that like scanners don't get their stuff as easily.
Sure. Makes sense.
So yeah, those are my top 3 predictions for the year.
My God.
Cool.
Seth,
Well, obviously, I think we see the Switch 2 this year. I would bet they reveal it by March.
I get by March reveal, but release in August.
So we'll know about it pretty soon. What do you think we'll call it? Switch 2? Super Switch? I really wanted them to call the Wii U the Super Wii. They're never going to do it.
We never had a
But
Super DS.
yeah,
You know? Like
that's
I
true.
think they dropped the Super moniker, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I'm saying it would have been great to bring back with the Super Wii. Super Switch? I don't think they'll
I
do
think
that.
they call it the.
I saw someone thinking that they'll call it the Switch Up because of their stupid
Yep. No, that's
proclivities
exactly
for
it. That is exactly
making
it.
weird, not puns, but like not using numbers to denote upgrades.
Yeah.
It'll
Gotta
be
use weird words.
it'll be the Switch Pro, and the reason it'll be
I don't
called
think-
that
I don't
is
think they would use Pro.
they'll probably call it the Nintendo SP. And it'll be a Switch Pro.
Okay,
that would be good.
that would get me.
I'm just
That would
saying.
be good.
I'm just saying that would be pretty rad.
What do they call it? The Switch Next, and they capitalize the N and the X.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
Oh, that's what I would like.
God.
The new Switch. That's to our chagrin. That'll probably be it. The new Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah. Plus Bowser's minions.
including Funky Kong.
Yeah. Which you can call it whatever they want as long as it plays all the Switch games and has Street Pass.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Even if it's a little like waist attachment I have to have for it, like
It's a full belt that you have to wear.
I'll wear it.
I'll do
wear
it.
Yeah, like bring back the Poke Walker. Another prediction was I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna get a new Pokemon game,
Always.
but maybe this year we don't. No,
No.
they're gonna do it.
Will it be a remake? Do you think?
I
they'll-
think they'll probably go along the Legends route again.
Mm-hmm.
At least I would hope so. They're in in line for a Gen 5 remake coming up.
Yeah.
So that would be cool if they did that in actual 3D. I don't know. I can't really think of anything.
So outsource the remake and then do a Legends of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think seems to be. I think they came up with a winning strategy in that.
Yeah, I agree.
And that way they, I don't have to care about these remakes coming out that look bad. Because there are other remakes that look good.
That's fair.
Yep. Which ones would they be? Black and white?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to play
There's
those
been
again.
a lot of the Pokemon Twitter has also been a flutter about Gen 2 for some reason. So I don't know why.
Don't.
That would be interesting if they revisited that as well.
Oh, my heart. Don't do this. I'm going to ignore that you said that.
Now that would be Pokemon Legends in that place would be great. In Johto.
God. Johto and Kanto. If they
yeah.
play it right.
Yeah. But they might who knows, they might run out of room and have to have someone step in at the 11th hour.
Yeah. Reprogram the entire game.
That rumor's not actually true.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was always planned to have Kanto in the game.
Oh.
And the thing that Iwata wrote actually made the game run slower.
Oh.
But it did so in a way that it ran more efficiently.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all worked out in the end.
I remember watching a video about that, and I was like, huh, that is very different than the way the story is told.
There is something slightly funny about the concept of just trickster Iwata. He comes into your
I'll help.
development cycle, he says, and he rubs his hands together evilly, and then codes your game slightly different, so it just runs slower, and that's it.
You seem like you had an epiphany, David.
Yeah.
No, there's something I want to talk to my friends about, and I don't know if it should be on the air.
Okay.
I think the another
And
prediction,
the Iwata thing triggered
the
it. But go ahead.
Borderlands
Okay.
movie will not
my
come out.
Yeah, that's my
Also,
wish for the
Sea
year.
of Thieves will be delayed.
Oh, that's a bold claim.
Is it?
This is,
This seems like low-hanging fruit to me.
I don't know. We'll see.
Wait,
Bungie will be absorbed by Sony.
unfortunately.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah. I think that we could get a new Donkey Kong game announced this year.
All I want is for them to put Donkey Kong 64 on the Switch.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
want
part
them
of
to do that
the
too.
thing
Not
already?
yet.
What the heck?
It's weird. Their release strategy for that stuff has always been weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I think we get a pretty sizable update for Metroid Prime 4 this year.
Yes, one would hope.
No.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to be a Switch game. That's the
Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
be-
It's going to be a
Nintendo SP game.
yes, a Switch up game.
And then, number 3. What will my third prediction be? I'm rubbing a metaphorical magic 8-ball right now.
Do you rub a Magic 8 Ball? I think you just shake it.
I do both.
Are you consulting your orb?
Yeah, yes, I am consulting my orb. Dang. Really, there's just so many things.
Yep, too much to even talk about.
All right. You'll come up with something.
My third one is that everything gets announced.
Everything.
Everything.
Mario Kart everything.
Yep.
All right. Well, with that, we appreciate you listening. As always, through our shenanigans, I'm going to tell these guys about what's going on in Splatoon 3 off the air. And if you want to find out, you can go boot it up. But it's weird enough that I don't want it to be on recording. And we will talk at you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.